Hi everyone and welcome to Slip and Learn. Tonight, we journey deep into the breathtaking wilderness of Sweden, a land of endless pine forests, crystal clear lakes, snowy mountains, and some of Europe's most fascinating wildlife. From giant moose wandering through silent forests to mysterious lynx hidden beneath the northern lights, Sweden's nature is both peaceful and wild at the same time. So relax, get comfortable, and let's explore the incredible natural world of Scandinavia together. Into the silent forests, Sweden's wild heart. Sweden is one of the wildest countries in Europe. Nearly 70% of its land is covered by forests, stretching across mountains, valleys, lakes, and endless northern wilderness. In some places, a person can walk for days without seeing another human being. These ancient forests are home to some of Europe's most fascinating animals: giant moose, silent lynx, powerful brown bears, and wolves that still roam free beneath the northern sky. At sunrise, mist rises between pine trees while the calls of cranes echo across wetlands. During winter, snow absorbs nearly every sound, creating a silence so deep that even a single animal track becomes important. Sweden's wildlife has adapted to freezing temperatures, endless summer daylight, and dark Arctic winters that can last for months. One of the most iconic animals in Sweden is the moose. Often called the king of the forest, the moose is the largest member of the deer family in the world. An adult male can stand over 2 meters tall at the shoulder and weigh more than 700 kilograms. Despite their enormous size, moose can move quietly through forests and swim surprisingly well. During summer, they often enter lakes to cool down and feed on aquatic plants. Moose are herbivores. They feed mainly on leaves, branches, bark, grass, and water plants. In winter, when food becomes scarce, they survive by eating twigs and pine shoots. Sweden has one of the largest moose populations in Europe, with hundreds of thousands living across the country. Drivers in Sweden are especially cautious because moose frequently cross roads, particularly during dawn and dusk. Deep inside Sweden's forests lives another legendary animal, the Eurasian lynx. Unlike wolves, lynx prefer solitude. They move silently across rocky terrain and snowy forests, often remaining invisible even in areas where they are common. Their thick fur, tufted ears, and wide paws help them survive harsh Nordic winters. Lynx are carnivores and skilled hunters. They mainly hunt roe deer, hares, birds, and smaller mammals. Their eyesight and hearing are extraordinary. A lynx can detect movement from great distances and quietly stalk prey before attacking with incredible speed. Because they avoid humans whenever possible, most people in Sweden never see one in the wild. Brown bears also inhabit Sweden's forests, especially in the central and northern regions. Swedish brown bears spend much of the year searching for food to prepare for hibernation. Although they are powerful predators, their diet is surprisingly varied. They eat berries, ants, insects, roots, fish, and occasionally larger animals. Before winter arrives, bears enter dens hidden beneath rocks, roots, or snow-covered hillsides. During hibernation, their heart rate slows dramatically, allowing them to survive months without eating. Female bears even give birth during winter sleep, and tiny cubs remain protected inside the den until spring. Wolves are among the most controversial animals in Sweden. Once nearly extinct in the country, wolves slowly returned through conservation efforts. They live mainly in forested regions where prey such as deer and moose are abundant. Wolves are highly social animals that live in packs led by experienced adults. Communication within a wolf pack is extremely important. Wolves use howls to locate each other across long distances. Each howl carries information about territory, identity, and danger. Swedish winters make these sounds travel even farther through frozen forests. Sweden is also home to wolverines, one of the toughest mammals in the world. Wolverines resemble small bears but belong to the weasel family. They can travel enormous distances through mountains and snowfields while searching for food. Their powerful jaws allow them to crush frozen bones and survive in some of Europe's harshest environments. The forests themselves are alive with smaller creatures. Red squirrels leap between spruce branches collecting seeds and mushrooms. Foxes hunt quietly at night. Owls glide silently above snow searching for mice hidden beneath the surface. Even hedgehogs, though less common in the far north, can be found in southern Sweden where forests meet gardens and meadows. The European hedgehog is the species found in Sweden. These small nocturnal mammals are covered in thousands of sharp spines that protect them from predators. Hedgehogs feed mainly on insects, worms, slugs, and beetles. During cold winters, they hibernate in nests made from leaves and grass hidden beneath bushes or wood piles. In Sweden, hedgehogs are most common in the southern parts of the country where the climate is milder. What makes Sweden's wildlife especially remarkable is the relationship between nature and silence. Large areas remain untouched, allowing animals to follow ancient migration routes and survival patterns that have existed for thousands of years. In the far north, under the shimmering green light of the aurora borealis, reindeer move across frozen land while Arctic winds sweep through the mountains. Sweden's wilderness is not simply a collection of animals. It is an enormous living ecosystem shaped by ice, forests, water, and seasons. Every creature, from the giant moose to the tiny hedgehog, plays a role in maintaining the balance of the Nordic creatures of the Arctic North. Far beyond Sweden's dense southern forests lies a world shaped by snow, ice, and silence. This is Swedish Lapland, one of the last great Arctic wildernesses in Europe. Stretching above the Arctic Circle, this remote region experiences some of the most extreme natural conditions on Earth. Winters can last for more than half the year. Temperatures often plunge far below freezing, and during the coldest months the sun barely rises above the horizon. Yet despite these harsh conditions, an extraordinary variety of animals not only survives here, but thrives. The Arctic North is a land of dramatic contrasts. In summer, the midnight sun shines for weeks without setting, bathing mountains and tundra in golden light day and night. Rivers burst with life, insects fill the air, and plants grow rapidly during the short but intense season of warmth. Then winter returns, covering the land in deep snow and darkness once again. Animals living here must adapt constantly to survive this cycle of extremes. Among the most iconic animals of Swedish Lapland is the reindeer. For thousands of years, reindeer have crossed the Arctic tundra in vast seasonal migrations. These remarkable animals are perfectly designed for life in frozen landscapes. Their large hooves act like snowshoes, helping them walk across deep snow and soft ground. In winter, the edges of their hooves become sharp, allowing them to grip ice and dig through snow to reach food hidden beneath. Reindeer mainly feed on lichens during winter, especially a slow-growing species often called reindeer moss. During summer, they switch to grasses, leaves, mushrooms, and small Arctic plants. The Sami people, the indigenous inhabitants of northern Scandinavia, have lived alongside reindeer for centuries, traditionally herding them across Lapland's wilderness. One of the most fascinating features of reindeer is their ability to survive extreme cold. Their thick fur traps air for insulation, and even their noses are specially adapted to warm freezing air before it reaches their lungs. Unlike most deer species, both male and female reindeer can grow antlers, though they lose them at different times of year. Another extraordinary survivor of the Arctic North is the Arctic fox. Small, intelligent, and incredibly resilient, Arctic foxes endure winters that would kill most mammals. Their thick fur is among the warmest found anywhere in the animal kingdom. In fact, Arctic foxes can remain comfortable in temperatures below -50°C. Arctic foxes are famous for changing color with the seasons. During winter, their fur becomes pure white, helping them disappear into snowy landscapes. In summer, the same fox develops brown or gray fur that blends into rocks and tundra vegetation. This natural camouflage protects them from predators and helps them hunt. These foxes eat almost anything they can find. Their diet includes lemmings, birds, eggs, insects, berries, and even fish left behind by larger predators. Sometimes they follow polar bears in other Arctic regions to scavenge scraps, although polar bears are not found in Sweden itself. Arctic foxes are also known for storing extra food beneath rocks or frozen ground to survive difficult periods when prey becomes scarce. Swedish Lapland is also home to one of the Arctic's most mysterious birds, the snowy owl. With brilliant white feathers and piercing yellow eyes, snowy owls are perfectly adapted to life in open tundra landscapes. Unlike many owls, snowy owls are active during the day, especially during the endless daylight of Arctic summer. Snowy owls mainly hunt lemmings, small rodents that experience enormous population booms every few years. When lemmings are abundant, snowy owls may raise large families. But when prey numbers collapse, the owls may travel huge distances searching for food. Their thick feathers cover even their legs and feet, protecting them from freezing winds. Another remarkable bird of the far north is the ptarmigan. At first glance, these birds may appear ordinary, but they possess one of the Arctic's most impressive survival strategies. Like Arctic foxes, ptarmigans change color with the seasons. In summer, their feathers are brown and gray to match rocks and plants. During winter, they become completely white, nearly invisible against snow-covered landscapes. Ptarmigans also grow feathers on their feet during winter, functioning like tiny snowshoes that help them walk across soft snow while keeping them warm. During blizzards, they sometimes burrow directly into snowdrifts to create temporary shelters against the freezing wind. Life in the Arctic North depends heavily on adaptation. Many animals reduce movement during winter to conserve energy. Others develop specialized fur, feathers, or behaviors that allow them to survive months of darkness and cold. Some species migrate south, while others remain active beneath the snow itself. One of the strangest features of Arctic life is the midnight sun. During summer in northern Sweden, the sun can remain visible for weeks without setting. Animals must adjust their sleep, feeding, and migration patterns to continuous daylight. Reindeer, for example, often become active at all hours because darkness no longer controls their daily rhythm. Winter creates the opposite challenge. During the polar night, daylight becomes weak and brief. Yet even in darkness, life continues. Wolves travel across frozen valleys, owls glide silently through Arctic winds, and foxes leave delicate tracks across untouched snow beneath the shimmering aurora borealis. The northern lights are among Lapland's most magical sights. Green waves of light ripple across the sky while the frozen wilderness below remains almost completely silent. For centuries, people believed the aurora carried spiritual meaning, and even today the sight feels otherworldly. Beneath these glowing skies, Arctic animals continue ancient survival patterns that have remained unchanged for thousands of years. Swedish Lapland is more than a cold wilderness. It is a living ecosystem filled with creatures uniquely adapted to one of the harshest climates on Earth. Every animal here, from the mighty reindeer to the tiny Arctic fox, represents the incredible ability of life to survive against overwhelming odds. Life beneath Sweden's lakes and rivers. Sweden is often called a land of forests and mountains, but beneath its calm waters exists another hidden world filled with life. The country contains nearly 100,000 lakes, countless rivers, and thousands of kilometers of streams flowing from northern mountains to the Baltic Sea. Some lakes are crystal clear and shallow, while others are so deep and dark that sunlight barely reaches the bottom. Beneath these cold northern waters live powerful predators, ancient fish, intelligent mammals, and creatures perfectly adapted to icy environments. During sunrise, Sweden's lakes often appear peaceful and motionless. Mist drifts slowly above the surface, while pine forests reflect in the water like mirrors. But underneath this calm exterior, a constant struggle for survival is taking place. Fish hunt smaller prey among underwater plants, otters search riverbanks for movement, and salmon battle powerful currents during one of nature's greatest migrations. One of Sweden's most feared freshwater predators is the northern pike. Long, muscular, and lightning fast, pike are ambush hunters that dominate lakes and slow-moving rivers across Scandinavia. Their bodies are perfectly designed for sudden attacks. Camouflaged among reeds and underwater vegetation, they remain almost completely motionless before exploding forward with incredible speed. A large northern pike can grow over 1 meter long and possesses hundreds of razor-sharp teeth angled backward to prevent prey from escaping. Pike eat fish, frogs, water birds, and sometimes even smaller pike. In Sweden's remote lakes, enormous specimens have been recorded weighing more than 20 kilograms. Despite their terrifying appearance, pike are vital to freshwater ecosystems. By controlling populations of smaller fish, they help maintain balance within lakes and wetlands. Their presence also indicates healthy water systems with rich biodiversity. Another famous inhabitant of Swedish waters is the European perch. Recognizable by its striped body and reddish fins, the perch is one of the most widespread freshwater fish in Scandinavia. Although many perch remain relatively small, some Swedish lakes produce giant perch that attract anglers from around the world. Perch are active hunters with excellent vision. They often hunt in groups, surrounding schools of smaller fish before attacking together. Young perch feed mainly on insects and tiny aquatic animals, but adults become skilled predators capable of catching surprisingly large prey. During winter, perch continue hunting beneath frozen lakes. Ice fishing is a major tradition in Sweden, and many people drill holes through thick ice to catch perch during the coldest months of the year. Underneath the frozen surface, entire ecosystems remain active even in near darkness. Perhaps no freshwater fish in Sweden is more legendary than the Atlantic salmon. These remarkable fish are born in rivers, migrate to the ocean, and later return to the exact rivers where they hatched. Their journey is one of nature's most extraordinary migrations. Young salmon begin life in freshwater streams where they spend several years growing stronger. Eventually, instinct drives them toward the sea. There they may travel thousands of kilometers across the North Atlantic before returning years later to Swedish rivers to reproduce. The return migration is incredibly difficult. Salmon must swim upstream against powerful currents, leap over waterfalls, and avoid predators along the way. Some stop eating entirely during migration, relying only on stored energy to complete the journey. Their sense of smell is so precise that they can recognize the unique chemical signature of their home river even after years in the ocean. Sweden's rivers are also shaped by one of nature's greatest engineers, the beaver. Once hunted nearly to extinction in Scandinavia, beavers have returned to many parts of Sweden and transformed entire ecosystems. Using branches, mud, and stones, beavers construct dams that slow rivers and create ponds and wetlands. These wetlands become homes for countless species. Birds nest among flooded vegetation, fish find shelter in calmer waters, and insects thrive in the new environment. In many ways, beavers reshape landscapes more dramatically than almost any other animal in Sweden. Beavers are mainly active at night and spend much of their lives in water. Their large front teeth never stop growing, allowing them to cut through tree trunks with astonishing efficiency. A beaver can fell a surprisingly large tree in a single night. Their flat tails help them swim and also serve as warning tools. When danger approaches, a beaver slaps its tail against the water surface to alert nearby family members. Another extraordinary predator living along Swedish rivers is the Eurasian otter. Sleek, playful, and highly intelligent, otters are perfectly adapted for aquatic hunting. Their streamlined bodies, webbed feet, and thick waterproof fur make them excellent swimmers capable of chasing fish through icy currents. Otters mainly feed on fish, frogs, and crustaceans, but they are opportunistic hunters and will eat whatever is available. They can remain underwater for surprisingly long periods while searching beneath rocks and submerged branches. In winter, otters often use openings in frozen rivers to access water beneath the ice. Although otters appear playful, they are skilled predators with remarkable reflexes. Young otters spend months learning hunting techniques from their mothers before becoming independent. Along snowy riverbanks, their tracks and belly slides often reveal where they have traveled during the night. Deep within Sweden's northern lakes live some of the country's rarest freshwater species. Arctic char, for example, thrives in cold, oxygen-rich lakes formed during the Ice Age. These fish are among the northernmost freshwater species in the world and can survive in conditions too harsh for many other fish. Some deep Scandinavian lakes contain ancient ecosystems that have existed for thousands of years since glacier retreated after the last ice age. The cold, dark water preserves unique habitats where rare fish, crustaceans, and microscopic organisms continue ancient survival patterns largely unchanged since prehistoric times. Seasonal changes dramatically affect life beneath Swedish waters. During summer, lakes fill with sunlight and plant growth explodes. Fish become highly active while insects hatch in enormous numbers. In winter, thick ice seals many lakes beneath frozen layers for months. Oxygen levels drop, sunlight fades, and survival becomes more difficult. Yet life never fully stops. Fish slow their metabolism, otters continue hunting beneath the ice, and rivers still flow beneath frozen surfaces hidden from the world above. Even in darkness and extreme cold, Sweden's freshwater ecosystems remain alive. The lakes and rivers of Sweden are far more than beautiful landscapes. They are living worlds filled with ancient migrations, underwater hunters, and delicate ecological balance. From giant pike hidden among reeds to salmon crossing entire oceans, every creature plays a role in the vast network of life flowing through Scandinavia's waters. Sweden's birds of sky and sea. Across Sweden's forests, coastlines, wetlands, and mountains, the skies are alive with birds. Some glide silently above frozen wilderness, others gather in enormous migrating flocks that darken the horizon. Along rocky Baltic islands, seabirds scream against crashing waves, while deep in northern forests owls hunt beneath the midnight sun. Sweden is one of Europe's greatest countries for birdlife, offering habitats so varied that hundreds of species thrive across its landscapes. The country's geography creates a perfect environment for birds. Vast forests provide shelter and nesting sites. Thousands of lakes attract waterfowl, and the long coastline offers feeding grounds for seabirds. Every season transforms the skies in different ways. Spring brings giant migrations from Africa and southern Europe. Summer fills wetlands with nesting birds. Autumn sees millions of birds traveling south again, and winter reveals hardy Arctic species adapted to snow and darkness. One of the most magnificent birds in Sweden is the white-tailed eagle. With a wingspan reaching nearly 2.5 meters, it is one of the largest birds of prey in Europe. These enormous eagles soar above coastlines, lakes, and archipelagos searching for fish and water birds. White-tailed eagles nearly disappeared from Sweden during the 20th century due to hunting and pollution. Harmful chemicals weakened eggshells, causing populations to collapse. But conservation efforts slowly helped the species recover, and today these majestic birds once again dominate Scandinavian skies. From high above, the eagle scans the landscape with extraordinary eyesight. It can detect movement far below while gliding almost effortlessly on rising air currents. Although fish make up much of its diet, the white-tailed eagle is also an opportunistic hunter and scavenger, feeding on birds, mammals, and carrion during harsh winters. Another unforgettable sight in Sweden is the migration of cranes. Every spring and autumn, thousands of common cranes gather in wetlands and open fields during their journeys across Europe. Their loud trumpeting calls echo through the sky as huge flocks fly in graceful formations. One of the most famous migration sites is Lake Hornborga in southern Sweden, where tens of thousands of cranes stop to rest and feed. Visitors travel from around the world to witness the spectacle. At sunrise, mist rises above the wetlands while hundreds of cranes dance, leap, and spread their wings in elaborate displays. Cranes are among the oldest bird species on Earth, with ancestors that existed millions of years before humans appeared. They form strong family bonds and often remain with the same mate for life. Their migrations cover enormous distances, connecting the Arctic North with warmer southern regions. Along Sweden's rocky coastlines and islands lives another group of extraordinary birds, seabirds. Puffins, guillemots, terns, and countless gulls nest on steep cliffs battered by Baltic winds and icy seas. These coastal environments may appear harsh, but they provide rich feeding grounds filled with fish and marine life. Puffins are especially beloved for their colorful beaks and almost comical appearance. During breeding season, thousands gather in colonies on remote islands where they dig burrows among rocks and grassy slopes. Despite their awkward movements on land, puffins are exceptional swimmers and divers capable of chasing fish underwater with astonishing speed. Seabirds face constant danger from storms and rough seas. Many spend most of their lives flying above open water, only returning to land during breeding season. Arctic terns perform one of the greatest migrations in the animal kingdom, traveling from the Arctic all the way to Antarctica and back every year. Sweden's lakes and wetlands are also home to elegant swans. The whooper swan, with its long neck and powerful wings, is one of Scandinavia's most graceful birds. During winter, many swans gather in areas where water remains unfrozen. Their calls carry across icy lakes, creating haunting sounds in the cold air. Swans symbolize wilderness and purity in much of Nordic culture. Yet despite their beauty, they are surprisingly strong birds capable of defending themselves aggressively when protecting nests or young. Deep inside Sweden's forests live birds specially adapted to woodland life. Woodpeckers hammer against tree trunks searching for insects hidden beneath bark. Their skulls contain shock-absorbing structures that protect the brain from repeated impacts. Some species can strike wood more than 20 times per second without injury. The black woodpecker, the largest woodpecker in Europe, creates enormous holes in dead trees that later become homes for owls, ducks, and small mammals. In this way, woodpeckers help entire forest ecosystems by creating nesting spaces for other creatures. Owls are among Sweden's most mysterious birds. Great grey owls, eagle owls, and snowy owls hunt silently across forests and tundra. Their feathers are specially designed to reduce sound during flight, allowing them to approach prey almost invisibly. Even beneath thick snow, owls can hear the movements of mice and voles hidden underneath. With incredible precision, they dive through snowdrifts to catch prey buried below the surface. Their large eyes collect even tiny amounts of light, helping them hunt during long Nordic nights. Falcons and hawks also rule Sweden's skies. Peregrine falcons, the fastest animals on Earth, dive toward prey at speeds exceeding 300 kilometers per hour. These birds of prey nest on cliffs, towers, and rocky coastlines where they can scan huge territories for movement. Seasonal migration transforms Sweden into a crossroads for birds traveling between continents. Millions pass through Scandinavia each year, following ancient routes guided by stars, Earth's magnetic field, rivers, coastlines, and even smell. Some birds fly thousands of kilometers without stopping. Birdwatchers consider Sweden one of Europe's greatest destinations because of this incredible diversity. From Arctic mountains to southern wetlands, each region supports unique species and spectacular natural events. Rare birds appear regularly, attracting scientists, photographers, and wildlife enthusiasts from around the world. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about Sweden's birds is their connection to the changing seasons. Their migrations announce the arrival of spring and autumn. Their songs fill endless summer evenings, while their survival during winter demonstrates extraordinary resilience. Above forests, lakes, cliffs, and frozen seas, Sweden's birds remain symbols of freedom, endurance, and the wild beauty of Scandinavia itself. The secret life of Swedish forest creatures. Beneath Sweden's towering pine trees and deep carpets of moss exists a hidden world that many people never notice. While moose, wolves, and bears often capture attention, the forests of Scandinavia are also home to countless smaller creatures quietly living among roots, stones, and fallen branches. Some emerge only at night, others hide beneath snow during winter, and many are so perfectly camouflaged that they remain invisible even in plain sight. These tiny inhabitants form the foundation of Sweden's forest ecosystems, They pollinate plants, spread seeds, recycle dead wood, and provide food for larger predators. Without them, the northern forests would not survive in balance. From hedgehogs rustling through leaves to glowing insects lighting the darkness of summer nights, Sweden's forests are filled with hidden life. One of the most beloved small mammals in Sweden is the European hedgehog. Although hedgehogs are more common in southern Sweden where winters are milder, they can also be found in forests, meadows, gardens, and farmland edges across much of the country. They prefer areas with dense vegetation where they can hide during the day. The European hedgehog is the only species of hedgehog naturally found in Sweden. Covered in thousands of sharp spines, these nocturnal mammals rely on defense rather than speed. When threatened, a hedgehog curls into a tight ball, exposing only its protective spikes. Foxes and badgers are among the few predators capable of attacking them successfully. Hedgehogs feed mainly on insects, worms, beetles, slugs, snails, and other tiny invertebrates. Their excellent sense of smell helps them locate food beneath leaves and soil during the night. In autumn, hedgehogs eat as much as possible to prepare for hibernation. Once temperatures fall low enough, they build nests from leaves, grass, and moss hidden beneath wood piles, bushes, or tree roots. During hibernation, a hedgehog's heartbeat and breathing slow dramatically, conserving energy through the long Scandinavian winter. Even so, many do not survive until spring, especially during harsh winters with little food available before hibernation begins. Moving silently through Sweden's forests is another familiar animal, the red fox. Highly intelligent and adaptable, foxes thrive in forests, fields, mountains, and even near cities. Their thick fur changes slightly with the seasons, becoming denser during winter to protect against freezing temperatures. Foxes are opportunistic hunters with an extremely varied diet. They eat rodents, birds, rabbits, insects, berries, and even carrion. During winter, they use their sensitive hearing to detect mice moving beneath deep snow. A fox may suddenly leap high into the air and dive headfirst into a snowdrift to catch hidden prey. Unlike wolves, foxes usually hunt alone. They are cautious animals and mostly active at dawn, dusk, and night. Their bushy tails help maintain balance while running and also provide warmth when curled around the body during sleep. Another secretive forest resident is the European badger. Stocky and powerful, badgers spend much of their lives underground in extensive tunnel systems called setts. Some of these underground homes are used by generations of badgers for decades or even centuries. Badgers are surprisingly clean and organized animals. Inside their tunnels are sleeping chambers lined with grass and leaves. They regularly replace bedding and maintain separate areas for waste. At night, badgers emerge to search for worms, insects, berries, roots, frogs, and small animals. During winter in Sweden, badgers reduce activity significantly, though they do not hibernate as deeply as hedgehogs. Instead, they spend long periods resting underground while surviving on stored body fat. High in the trees lives one of Sweden's most agile predators, the pine marten. Martens belong to the weasel family and are famous for their climbing ability. Their slender bodies and sharp claws allow them to move effortlessly through branches while hunting birds, squirrels, and small mammals. Pine martens are rarely seen because they avoid humans and move mainly at night. Their thick brown fur and pale throat markings help distinguish them from other forest animals. In winter, martens remain active even during heavy snow, using abandoned nests and hollow trees for shelter. Among the most important prey animals in Swedish forests are hares. The mountain hare, common in northern Scandinavia, undergoes a remarkable seasonal transformation. During summer, its fur is brown or gray to blend into forests and rocky ground. But as winter approaches, the hare turns almost completely white, becoming nearly invisible against snow-covered landscapes. This camouflage is essential for survival because hares are hunted by foxes, lynx, owls, and eagles. Their long, powerful legs allow them to run at incredible speeds across snow and rough terrain. During severe weather, hares often shelter beneath dense branches or dig shallow depressions into snow for protection. The forest floor itself is alive with countless insects and tiny invertebrates. Beetles crawl beneath bark, ants build vast underground colonies, and moths emerge during warm summer nights. Some insects are so small and specialized that they live only in ancient forests where dead wood and moisture remain undisturbed. One of the most magical sights in Scandinavian forests during summer is the appearance of glowing beetles and bioluminescent insects. In certain conditions, tiny green lights flicker among moss and fallen branches. These glowing organisms use bioluminescence to attract mates or communicate in darkness. Dead trees play a crucial role in supporting these hidden ecosystems. While fallen trunks may appear lifeless, they are actually filled with fungi, insects, larvae, and microscopic organisms recycling nutrients back into the forest soil. Woodpeckers tear into rotting bark searching for insects, while beetles carve tunnels deep inside decaying wood. Winter transforms life dramatically for Sweden's smallest creatures. Snow becomes both a danger and a source of protection. Beneath deep snow layers exists a hidden insulated world where temperatures remain far warmer than the freezing air above. Mice, voles, insects, and even some spiders remain active in tunnels beneath the snow throughout winter. Many small mammals store food before winter arrives. Squirrels hide seeds and mushrooms, while some rodents gather enormous underground supplies. Others survive by slowing their metabolism or entering periods of torpor similar to light hibernation. Survival in Scandinavian forests depends on adaptation, patience, and secrecy. Tiny animals must constantly avoid predators while enduring long darkness and extreme cold. Yet despite these challenges, Sweden's forests remain filled with life in every season. The hidden creatures beneath moss and trees may rarely be seen, but they are essential to the rhythm of the Nordic wilderness. Together, they create an invisible network of life supporting the entire forest ecosystem, a world just as fascinating as the larger animals roaming above them. Predators of the North. Across Sweden's forests, mountains, and frozen wilderness live animals perfectly designed for hunting. These predators are powerful, intelligent, and highly adapted to survival in one of Europe's harshest environments. Some hunt silently through deep forests, others travel enormous distances across snow-covered mountains, and some rule the skies high above the Scandinavian landscape. Predators play a critical role in Sweden's ecosystems. By controlling populations of deer, rodents, and other prey animals, they help maintain the balance of nature. Without predators, forests and tundra would slowly change as prey populations grow beyond what the environment can support. Every hunt, every migration, and every survival strategy is part of a larger natural system shaped over thousands of years. Among Sweden's most famous predators is the grey wolf. Once widespread across Scandinavia, wolves nearly disappeared from the region due to hunting and habitat loss. Today, small populations once again roam parts of Sweden's forests thanks to conservation efforts and strict protection laws. Wolves are highly social animals that live in packs led by experienced adults. A pack is more than just a hunting group, it is a family. Parents raise pups together, older siblings help protect younger wolves, and the entire group cooperates to survive harsh winters. Hunting in packs allows wolves to take down prey much larger than themselves, including moose and deer. During winter, wolves often follow herds through deep snow, waiting for signs of weakness or exhaustion. Their endurance is extraordinary. A wolf pack may travel dozens of kilometers in a single night while searching for food. Communication is essential to wolf survival. Wolves use body language, scent marking, and howling to coordinate with each other and defend territory. On cold winter nights, their howls can travel enormous distances through forests and frozen valleys. Each howl carries information about identity, location, and warning signals to rival packs. Unlike wolves, The Eurasian lynx prefers solitude. These elusive cats are among Sweden's most mysterious predators. Many people spend years in the wilderness without ever seeing one. Lynx move almost silently through forests using soft padded paws that leave barely any sound on snow or leaves. The lynx is perfectly adapted for ambush hunting. Its spotted fur blends into rocky forests and shadows, while tufted ears and sharp eyesight allow it to detect movement from great distances. Unlike wolves, lynx rely on stealth rather than endurance. They slowly stalk prey before launching sudden attacks with explosive speed. Roe deer are among the lynx's most important prey animals, although lynx also hunt hares, birds, and smaller mammals. A single successful hunt may provide enough food for several days. During winter, the lynx's wide paws act almost like snowshoes, helping it move across deep snow where prey animals struggle. Farther north in Sweden's mountains lives one of the toughest predators in the world, the wolverine. Although smaller than wolves or bears, wolverines are incredibly strong for their size and famous for surviving in extreme conditions. They belong to the weasel family but resemble small muscular bears with thick dark fur. Wolverines are solitary travelers capable of crossing vast Arctic landscapes in search of food. They often roam snowy mountains and remote tundra where few other predators can survive. Their powerful legs and broad paws allow them to move efficiently through deep snow. One reason wolverines are so successful is their adaptability. They will hunt small animals, scavenge carcasses left by wolves or lynx, and even dig through frozen snow to reach hidden food. Their jaws are extremely powerful and capable of crushing frozen bones that many predators cannot break. Despite their size, wolverines are fearless animals known for defending food from much larger predators. In remote northern wilderness, they survive conditions that would challenge almost any other mammal. High above Sweden's forests and coastlines soars another master hunter, the golden eagle. With enormous wings and incredible eyesight, golden eagles dominate the skies of Scandinavia. From hundreds of meters above the ground, they can detect small movements made by hares, birds, or rodents far below. Golden eagles use rising air currents to glide effortlessly over mountains and valleys while searching for prey. When hunting, they may suddenly fold their wings and dive toward the ground at astonishing speed. Their talons are incredibly strong and capable of killing prey instantly. In Sweden's northern mountains, golden eagles often hunt hares and ptarmigans, but they may also target foxes or young reindeer calves. Their nests, built on cliffs or tall trees, can become enormous over many years as new material is added each season. Predators constantly compete with one another for territory and food. Wolves may steal prey from lynx. Wolverines often scavenge kills made by other hunters. Eagles watch from above, waiting for opportunities to feed. This competition creates a complex balance within the ecosystem. At the same time, predators indirectly shape the behavior of prey animals. Deer avoid certain areas where wolves hunt regularly. Hares remain hidden during daylight to avoid lynx and eagles. Even vegetation changes because grazing animals move differently in landscapes where predators are present. Winter creates both opportunities and dangers for hunters. Deep snow slows prey animals but also demands enormous energy from predators. Food can become scarce, forcing animals to travel farther and take greater risks. Young predators often struggle most during their first winters, learning hunting skills through experience and survival. Human activity has also influenced Sweden's predators for centuries. Hunting, roads, forestry, and expanding settlements reduced many populations dramatically in the past. Today, conservation programs aim to protect these animals while balancing the concerns of farmers and local communities. Despite modern challenges, Sweden remains one of the few places in Europe where all major native predators still survive together. Wolves roam forests, lynx stalk silently through snow, wolverines cross frozen mountains, and golden eagles soar above the wilderness. These predators are more than hunters. They are guardians of ecological balance, shaping the health of forests, tundra, and wildlife populations throughout Scandinavia. Their presence reminds us that true wilderness still exists in the far north, a place where nature continues to follow ancient rhythms unchanged for thousands of years. Sweden through the seasons. In Sweden, nature is constantly changing. The forests, lakes, mountains, and Arctic tundra never remain the same for long. Each season transforms the landscape in dramatic ways, forcing animals to adapt to shifting temperatures, changing daylight, and the endless cycle of survival. Few places in Europe experience seasonal contrasts as extreme as Scandinavia. From endless summer sunlight to months of winter darkness, Sweden's wildlife must constantly evolve with the rhythm of the year. The changing seasons affect every creature differently. Some animals migrate across continents, others hibernate beneath snow, and many completely transform their behavior, fur, or diet depending on the time of year. Life in Sweden is a constant race against nature's clock. Spring begins slowly in Scandinavia. In the far north, snow and ice may remain for many months, while southern forests already awaken with birdsong and flowing rivers. As temperatures rise, melting snow feeds lakes and rivers, creating powerful currents that rush through valleys and forests. For wildlife, spring is a season of movement and renewal. Millions of migratory birds return to Sweden from Africa and southern Europe after spending winter in warmer climates. Wetlands fill with cranes, geese, swans, and ducks. Forests once silent during winter suddenly echo with bird calls and territorial songs. One of the most spectacular signs of spring is the migration of cranes across Sweden. Huge flocks travel northward in graceful formations, stopping at lakes and marshes to rest and feed. Along the coasts, seabirds return to rocky islands where they breed during the short northern summer. Mammals also become more active after winter. Brown bears emerge from hibernation weak and hungry after months without eating. Female bears leave their dens with tiny cubs born during winter sleep. Hedgehogs awaken beneath piles of leaves and begin searching for insects and worms in warming soil. For many animals, spring is the season of birth. Moose calves, fox kits, hare leverets, and countless young birds appear across forests and tundra. Food becomes increasingly abundant as insects hatch and plants begin growing once again. Summer transforms Sweden completely. In the far north, the midnight sun creates nearly endless daylight. Above the Arctic Circle, the sun may not set at all for weeks. Forests become lush and green, lakes sparkle beneath golden skies, and the entire landscape bursts with life. Swedish summers are short but incredibly intense. Plants grow rapidly, insects emerge in enormous numbers, and animals must take advantage of the brief warm season to prepare for winter ahead. Reindeer graze across Arctic tundra filled with flowers and mosses, while fish become highly active in warming lakes and rivers. Summer is also a time of endless activity for birds. Many species raise chicks during this period of abundant food. Puffin colonies along rocky coasts become crowded with nesting seabirds, while owls and eagles hunt constantly to feed growing young. Insects dominate the Scandinavian summer. Mosquitoes, dragonflies, butterflies, and beetles fill forests and wetlands. Although mosquitoes can seem overwhelming in northern regions, they are essential to the ecosystem, providing food for fish, birds, frogs, and countless other animals. During warm summer nights, Sweden's forests can feel almost magical. Fireflies and glowing insects flicker among trees while mist rises from lakes under pale midnight skies. Even predators become more active during cooler evening hours. Autumn arrives quickly in Scandinavia. The green forests slowly transform into brilliant shades of orange, red, and gold. Temperatures begin dropping, daylight shortens rapidly, and animals prepare for the coming winter. For many species, autumn is a season of urgency. Bears eat enormous amounts of berries, roots, and fish to build fat reserves before hibernation. Squirrels collect seeds and mushrooms, hiding food stores throughout forests. Moose enter their mating season, and the calls of males echo through misty woodlands. Migratory birds begin leaving Sweden once again. Millions travel south toward warmer climates before lakes freeze and food disappears. Some journeys cover thousands of kilometers across oceans, deserts, and mountains. The first snow often arrives suddenly in northern Sweden. Mountain hares and ptarmigans begin changing color from brown to white, blending into the snowy landscape. Arctic foxes develop thick winter fur, and reindeer start moving toward winter feeding grounds. Winter is the greatest challenge for Scandinavian wildlife. In the Arctic North, darkness dominates for months. Temperatures plunge far below freezing, lakes freeze solid, and snow covers forests and mountains in deep silence. Yet life continues even during the harshest conditions. Wolves travel across frozen valleys searching for prey, while lynx silently stalk deer through snowy forests. Wolverines roam enormous distances across Arctic mountains where few animals can survive. Many small creatures depend on snow itself for survival. Beneath deep snow layers exists a hidden insulated world where mice, voles, and insects remain active in tunnels protected from freezing winds above. Some animals survive winter through hibernation. Bears retreat to dens beneath rocks and roots, slowing their metabolism dramatically. Hedgehogs curl into leaf nests while bats hide in caves or hollow trees. These animals rely entirely on stored body fat to survive until spring. Others remain active but conserve energy carefully. Reindeer dig through snow to reach lichens hidden beneath. Owls hunt rodents moving under the snow surface, using extraordinary hearing to detect prey they cannot see. The northern lights often illuminate Sweden's winter skies. Green and purple waves ripple above silent forests while snow reflects moonlight across frozen landscapes. For both animals and humans, winter in Scandinavia can feel both beautiful and unforgiving. Today, however, Sweden's wildlife faces new challenges caused by climate change. Rising temperatures are altering migration patterns, shortening winters, and changing entire ecosystems. Some species adapted to extreme cold now struggle as snow cover becomes less predictable. Arctic foxes face increasing competition from red foxes moving farther north as temperatures rise. Reindeer migrations become more difficult when freeze-thaw cycles create thick ice layers over winter food. Birds sometimes arrive too early or too late to match seasonal food availability. Warmer winters also affect hibernating animals. Bears and hedgehogs may wake earlier than normal, sometimes before enough food is available. Fish populations in lakes and rivers are changing as water temperatures rise. Scientists continue studying how these environmental changes will shape Scandinavia's future. Sweden's ecosystems have survived ice ages, extreme winters, and thousands of years of natural change. But modern climate shifts are occurring faster than many species can adapt. Still, Sweden remains one of Europe's greatest wildernesses. Across every season, life continues to adapt, migrate, hunt, and survive beneath northern skies. From the endless daylight of summer to the frozen silence of winter, the wildlife of Scandinavia follows ancient rhythms that connect every creature to the changing world around them. The story of Sweden's wildlife is ultimately a story of resilience, life enduring through darkness, cold, light, and constant transformation in one of Earth's most extraordinary natural landscapes.